Hey everyone, it's Joseph Ram,
And Branden Wrangle, aka Gojira Fan 1954.
and today we're having an episode on King Kong.
The original script from 1996 by Peter Jackson.
Now, where do we start with this? So I'll let you take this first, Brandon.
Well, what I think of this script is it's good. I think that some of the stuff could have been used for the 2005 version we ended up with, but anyway, what do you like about the script?
Yeah, I really think this. I mean, it just often makes me wonder as to why was this movie never made. I mean, well, the obvious reasons were we know the obvious reasons, but it's a shame that Jackson never got to use it with the final product. But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the 2005 film is still good, but it just makes me wonder, why didn't Jackson use the script that he used, that he could have had in '96?
Maybe because he thought the studio wouldn't have liked it if he used the same script or something.
Yeah, that's a possibility. We know the reasons why it was never made. Why it was never made, of course, was due to Godzilla 1998 and the Disney remake of Mighty Joe Young.
Right.
And also the studio not having any faith in Peter Jackson.
Yeah, because of those other movies from his earlier years, like Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, and
yeah, pretty much a bunch of splatter flicks that he used to do.
yeah.
And also, there's that thing that he said when when they killed the movie.
Yeah, he said when they killed the movie, I called him up and said, "Send me my model back."
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a shame that we never did get this movie, but I mean, hopefully, maybe one day we could get it adapted in some form or another.
Yeah. I would also like to see that for the 1994 Godzilla script by Untitled as well.
Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned about that, and also even like during the final months of production of King Kong in 2005, Peter Jackson had. People thought it was a real idea that there were going to be sequels, but there wasn't any, like...
Yeah, there was a joke that Peter Jackson was going to remake Son of Kong.
And also have it as two movies.
Yeah. There was also a rumor about one that was going to be called Into the Wolf's Lair.
Yeah, which would have been the third film.
Yeah. Yeah, like they said that Kong's son, Kiko, was gonna fight Nazi dinosaur hybrids or something.
Yeah, which it sounded interesting, but it's understandable as to why it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Considering that the Peter Jackson film was considered one of the most expensive movies one of the most expensive movies ever made at the time.
Yeah. What are your favorite things about the 1996 script?
I like how that basically gives more different takes on the characters, like different takes on Andero, Jack Driscoll, and pretty much this is kind of where we kind of get the idea of having Carl Denham as a villainous filmmaker.
Yeah, and in the 2016 fan film by Big Jack Films, they sure made him seem like it.
Yeah, which made me wonder if Big Jack Films took inspiration from that script.
He probably did. A few other things from that fan film were inspired by '96. What?
Yeah. Even Big Jack Films had an idea of what if there was a King Kong movie made by Disney during the Renaissance era.
I don't know about that one.
If you haven't seen that 2-part video, give it a watch, because it's mainly about. Then again, it's only a what if idea if it was ever made.
Yeah. And my favorite things about the script were that they were going to have a pack of brontosaurs be chased by a pack of carnivores.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, that idea I like, because carnivores are one of my favorite dinosaurs.
Yeah, and also I think they said that one of the sets was going to be used, but it would not be famous until Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And also the other thing was that it was rumored that it was either going to be Bruce Campbell or George Clooney was going to play Jack Driscoll.
Yeah, and I heard that Robert De Niro and one other person for Carl Denham. I forget who the second one is, though.
It was Gary Oldman, I think.
Oh. Okay.
I think Robert De Niro, could have fit that part as Carl Denham, I think.
And what's the girl from Titanic's name again?
Oh, Kate Winslet?
Oh, yeah. I heard that she was going to be Anne.
Yeah, which, I can understand that considering Kate Winslet had worked with Peter Jackson on another movie, which I don't know what movie it was.
Yeah, I forget the name, too.
But also the other thing with Kong is that it's a shame we never did get this movie. But, like I said, if we ever do get this adapted in some form or another, it would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with considering that Peter Jackson has even said that basically when he was hired on for it, he either had this or the Creature from the Black Lagoon remake.
Yeah. I wonder how the CGI for Kong himself would have looked.
Yeah, I would be curious to know what it would have looked like.
I saw it looked like that they were working on CGI for Kong back then,
but it never got further.
Yeah, I wonder if Kong would have still had scars like the 2005 one or something, but yeah, it's a shame this one didn't get made.
The closest we kind of got to it was when Stephen Sommers did his remake of The Mummy in 1999.
Oh yeah, the Brendan Fraser mummy movies.
Yeah, that's the closest you're going to get, because, it seems like they did borrow elements from that script.
Yeah, they were saying something about them finding some, hidden cave, and that Kong was being, portrayed as, a god.
Yeah, which, the natives did kind of portray Kong as a god, depending on which version you watch.
Yeah, the natives from the 2005 movie were kind of terrifying.
Yeah, they looked like vicious cannibals.
Yeah, and that chant that one of them made, that sorry Kong or something like that.
Yeah, that was oh Lord.
I don't know what that chant was supposed to mean.
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
But yeah, I like that they had Jack Black as Carl Denham in the final version in 2005.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder if he was trying to move away from his comedy roles.
Yeah, and Naomi Watts did a good job as Anne.
And so you had Adrian Brody as Jack Driscoll.
Yeah, and Andy Serkis was Kong and
Lumpy.
Lumpy, yeah.
You also had Thomas Kurtzman as Captain Englehorn.
Yeah.
And then Jamie Bell as Jimmy.
Yeah.
And also,
I heard the guy who played Jimmy passed away.
Really? Because I don't remember hearing anything about that.
Yeah, I think they said he did at some point. But
and then you had of course Colin Hanks as Preston. If you don't know who Colin Hanks is, he's Tom Hanks' son.
Okay.
Yeah. There's other things like how that Jackson did. Him and his production at What a Workshop, pretty much, they knew what they were doing, considering they were fresh off the success.
And was the bug pit part of this script, or?
That's what I wonder. I don't know if the spider pit scene was in his original script, his original '96 script.
All right. I saw that, like in the video game of the 2005 one, that in this movie, Jack Driscoll was supposed to board a plane and try in order to protect Kong and Anne.
Yes,
but then he would fail, and the usual ending where we know Kong's fate.
Yeah, it often made me wonder if that was used, if Jackson didn't want that to go to waste and decided to use it for the video game.
Yeah.
Because it was used as an alternative ending if you managed to unlock it.
Yeah. And real quick, what do you think of Peter Jackson Godzilla would be like?
I wonder how it would be interesting. I'd be curious to know what would have looked like.
maybe it would have been a remake of the original 1954 one, like this script in the 2005 movie were both a remake of the original 1933 King Kong.
Yeah, and there was a book release that's long out of print. I mean, the best bet you're gonna look for it is probably used bookstores or probably at like garage sales. It was World of Kong and Natural History of Skull Island. That said, like after Kong's death in New York, it said that there were further expeditions throughout the 1930s until the outbreak of World War II.
Yeah, and that was also the plot of the April Fool's Son of Kong thing.
Yeah, and it's even said in one of the expeditions when Carl Denham returned, he found out that Kong was pretty much the last of his kind. In one of the expeditions, and it's even said according to the lore that the island sank right after World War II.
Yeah. And also the extended cut had like a documentary.
Oh yeah, which it was basic.
Like a DVD.
Yeah, it was like a mockumentary. It's basically taken the book and putting it into a mockumentary.
Yeah. I also thought of like a documentary idea that I told our friend Carl Bunsen about, like for like a documentary based on the first Cloverfield movie.
Oh.
And they should do one like around the time before the Cloverfield sequel comes out.
Oh, that'd be interesting. So, is there anything else you have before we end this one?
Maybe the concept art. What are your favorite pieces of the concept art?
I actually like some of them. Some of them could be interesting, like how it showed the sailors running through the pack of the brontosaurs.
Yeah, I like the concept art they had for the ankylosaur and the carnotaur, and like they showed a couple of them with Kong fighting the T-Rexes.
Yeah, that was actually a good one. Anyway, so, well, everyone, that's it for this King Kong episode. So, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
And this is Joseph Ramp. See you next time.